They stand alone in a fortress of white lines wearing gloves like knights donning armor. They're the final barrier between a screaming crowd and the heartbreak of defeat. Yet for all their heroics, goalkeepers often walk a tightrope of blame and glory, where one slip can overshadow years of brilliance. Why is this position still one of the most misunderstood, controversial, and often unappreciated roles in world football? And how have the pressures of modern tactics, media scrutiny, and fan expectations transformed the life of a goalkeeper into a complex web of triumph and torment? If you've ever marveled at a last-second save that defies physics, or shaken your head at a so-called easy mistake, there's far more to the story than meets the eye. Today, we're stepping beyond the highlight reels to uncover the hidden truths behind this high-stakes position. From the gritty historical roots of the role to the swirling rumors and controversies that keep fans gossiping, you'll discover exactly why the world of goalkeepers can be both electrifying and punishing at the same time. But before you think you know it all, remember, this journey is filled with shocking twists, deep-seated rivalries, and revelations about how the game itself continues to evolve around the last man standing. And believe me, what lies beneath the surface is far more dramatic than anything you've seen in slow-motion replays. When a striker misses an easy chance, teammates and fans might groan, but the game goes on. Another opportunity will come, and a forward can redeem himself with a single shot. For a goalkeeper, though, it's an entirely different reality. One slip, one bobbled catch, one misread pass back, and you've effectively let the opponent walk away with the spoils. The stakes are so high that even seasoned veterans sometimes speak of recurring nightmares where the ball slips right through their hands. The harsh truth? This job can be downright terrifying. Imagine knowing that 90 minutes of perfect form can unravel in 1 second, overshadowing everything good you did. Fans remember the error, the howler, the comedic slip. Rarely do they recall the brilliant saves that kept the team alive just moments earlier. Social media can be merciless, amplifying a single mistake into trending memes, mocking chants, and vicious commentary. The phrase, "the goalie lost it for us," is thrown around casually, even when a match's outcome might hinge on multiple tactical factors. What does that do to a person's psyche? The lonely aspect of the role exacerbates these problems. You stand apart from the rest of the squad, literally and metaphorically. Defenders can rush forward to celebrate a goal with the attackers, but you remain near your net, quietly absorbing the moment. If you concede, you rarely have the luxury of immediate redemption. The psychological toll can be immense. You're both a part of the team and very much on your own island. Long before the age of pristine pitch technology, sophisticated gloves, or even the standardized rules we take for granted, the goalkeeper's role was almost an afterthought. In the late 19th century, football was still forging its identity, and the man between the posts often had no special equipment. No gloves to soften a scorching shot, no advanced pads to protect him from collisions, just raw courage and quick reflexes. Yet from the very start, there was a puzzling contradiction. While strikers and midfielders soaked up the glory, a keeper's feats were often overlooked unless they made a catastrophic error. In early sports newspapers, you'd see columns praising a forward's flair or a playmaker's vision, while the keeper's name only cropped up if he failed to clear the ball or was at fault for the deciding goal. Public sentiment often echoed the notion that a goalkeeper was more of a stopgap measure than a true tactician on the field. Eventually, rule changes and an increasing awareness of the sport's tactical depth started shifting attitudes. Teams realized how integral a strong goalie was, not just as a shot stopper, but as an organizer of the defense. Still, the stigma lingered. Your job is to not mess up. Nothing else. It's a damning directive that, despite the evolution of the game, has remained the keeper's daily burden. In the modern era, few traits stir as much debate as a goalkeeper's height. Coaches often fixate on towering frames, arms that can span the width of the goal, and a presence that intimidates oncoming forwards. This thirst for lofty guardians came with the idea that you needed someone who could pluck crosses out of the air like they were nothing, and, with a simple leap, cover almost the entire net. So if you're under 6 feet tall, you might be labeled too short. A stigma that can follow you throughout your career. The media has played a massive role in fueling this narrative. Headlines sometimes read along the lines of "short keeper blunders again," even if the mistake had nothing to do with height. Rumors swirl about clubs bypassing exceptionally agile keepers purely due to a few missing centimeters. Fans jump on social media mocking tiny arms or lack of wingspan, conveniently forgetting that some of history's greatest shot stoppers didn't tower over the crossbar. And the obsession doesn't stop there. Pundits, commentators, and former players weigh in with strong opinions. He's a good keeper, but I don't see him succeeding in the Premier League unless he grows a bit. Meanwhile, international scouts scour youth academies, measuring not just skill but also the potential for hitting that magical 1.90 meter mark. In places like England, Germany, and even Latin American countries, local tabloids can be brutal, framing any concession of a goal as proof that a shorter keeper can't handle the pressure. In a split second, a charging forward barrels into a diving keeper, studs raised, or maybe a last-ditch clearance turns into a violent mid-air collision. These scenes aren't just dramatic for the crowd. They can rewrite a goalkeeper's future. Everyone knows football is a contact sport, but few positions absorb the raw force and unexpected knocks like the last line of defense. Consider the infamous incidents where keepers have suffered severe head trauma. A fractured skull here, a concussion there. Peter Cech's case is one of the most widely publicized. A chilling collision that led to multiple surgeries and a metal plate inserted into his head. For the rest of his career, he wore protective headgear, a visual reminder of just how dangerous the job can be. Yet rumor has it that before that defining incident, there were already medical concerns around certain clubs neglecting advanced safety protocols for their goalkeepers. Fans whispered about reckless training sessions and inadequate protective gear, though few organizations ever admitted to any oversight. The drama of being a goalkeeper doesn't end when the final whistle blows. In the background, swirling controversies and wild rumors have become almost as captivating as the matches themselves. Some revolve around doping, or as certain tabloids insinuate, suspiciously rapid recovery methods. While official cases remain rare, fans speculate about clubs that push their players to the edge, seeking any competitive advantage. Keepers who bounce back from severe injuries in record time might face whispered claims of being too good to be true, stirring up debates about the lengths to which modern football is willing to go. Back in 1992, football's governing bodies introduced a subtle but monumental rule. Goalkeepers could no longer pick up deliberate back passes from their teammates. At first glance, it seemed like a minor tweak. In reality, it reshaped the entire sport. Suddenly, keepers had to be just as comfortable with their feet as they were with their hands. There was no more time to simply pick up the ball, bounce it a few times, and punt it upfield. For some, this was the dawn of a new era, one where the keeper became a pivotal part of the team's ball circulation, often acting as a third center back. Managers like Pep Guardiola and Jurgen Klopp harnessed this to transform their keepers into auxiliary playmakers, orchestrating possession from deep and initiating lightning-fast counterattacks. Names like Manuel Neuer and Ederson exemplify the archetype of the modern goalkeeper, confidently dribbling out of danger and pinging 40-yard passes onto a winger's foot. Fans were wowed by these feats of skill, and the concept of a sweeper keeper was born. For every keeper who fades into anonymity, there's another who carves out a legend so towering it seems almost mythic. The tales of these goal-mouthed giants echo through generations of fans and shape the sport's collective memory. Yet many of these figures come with complicated backstories, marked by controversies, near falls from grace, or epic comebacks that define their place in history. Standing in front of the net, a goalkeeper is more than just a uniform number. He carries the hopes of an entire fan base, the tactical plans of a manager, and the swirling chatter of tabloids and social media. Every dive is a test of agility, every call to the defense a test of leadership, and every goal conceded a test of composure. Despite the leaps in equipment quality, the tactical revolutions, and the wealth of data-driven insights, one unchanging truth remains. The margin for error is razor thin, and the emotional stakes sky high. So, after exploring this labyrinth of historical neglect, physical brutality, mental isolation, swirling controversies, and ongoing transformation, we're left with a pressing question. Are we truly giving goalkeepers the credit and protection they deserve? Or are we still too quick to point fingers and assign blame?